It's a new update for iPhone.
Yeah, like look at it. And like when you go to the messages, it's like,
Wait, that phone still gives new updates?
yeah,
That's crazy.
surprisingly.
What number iPhone is that?
This is the 8.
Oh, okay.
So I think I should still be getting more updates for a couple more.
That's crazy. It's like, what is the difference between that iOS and the last iOS?
Well, I don't know actually. I haven't updated my phone in like about five updates. So
That's like how my iPod Touch 5 is. Like, I didn't update it past like iOS 8 or something. It's like every time I use it to like make beats or just play around on it, it like, would you like to update now? I always click remind me later. Like for years now, I've just been clicking remind me later every time I open up the iPod.
I don't know. I just put auto update and it was done this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like every time my phone asks me to do that, like I can never pick a good time to do it because I'm always using my phone at night. So it's like I'll set a timer to do it like at 9 o'clock, but then I'm in the middle of watching like a YouTube video, but then I'll set it later to like 1 o'clock, and like I'm still not sleepy yet, still using my phone. It's like I always hold off on the updates until a couple more days.
No, dude. I don't know.
But
It's
also,
like,
what's that?
I don't know because like a lot of the times your phone also depends on Wi-Fi,
Yeah,
and then it asks you at like the only time that like you're not connected to anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was watching what channel was it? It was something about it was a horror film. I forgot what horror film it was. And the commercials after it, like I noticed they all had something in common, and like they all had products geared towards like Botox, anti-aging lotion, medications. Like it's all geared towards old people. And I was thinking about it. I just lost the thought again. I was thinking about it. And it's like, wait a second. These people are just like prolonged. Damn, I can't think of the original thought I had. I'm bad. Like this happened like 4 hours ago. Anyways, to summarize it all is that all these commercials were geared towards older people, and I came to the epiphany while watching it as like, man, people are spending all this money on like something that's like experimental, and then they don't even look as good as they're intending to look. I don't know where I was going with this. This is just me grasping at straws, trying to remember what the thought was, because it was much more profound than this. It sparked the whole entire conversation.
Well then, to go off from that, I don't know where to go from there.
It was a giant brain fart moment.
No, dude. What's it called? What was I gonna say?
I don't know. Something to finish up the topic about the commercials that we're all pandering to older people.
But you gotta think about it. All these older people have the money for this as well. Like where did they get all this money from? Like
401k retirement.
Like, what has the economy gone to?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a bigger question to ask? Like,
oh yeah, that's another thing I was gonna bring up was like, 'cause I was thinking about this the other day as well. So when if and when Donald Trump gets out of office, do you think we're gonna get like a super like someone who's the exact opposite of him, like a Democrat who's on the completely other side of politics?
that's like a giant maybe, honestly.
And then I was thinking like, well, if that happens, it's gonna create like this giant vacuum of like politics, because like there's this guy who's not now who undid the last dude stuff, and then after that, seeing all this like outrage and the general populace wants to see someone else in office. So then, if that's the case, it might be someone who's a Democrat, and they're gonna do everything Donald Trump's doing, and it's gonna create this vacuum where we're not getting anything done because we're too caught up and reversing the others, beliefs, ideologies, and whatnot. And I was thinking, like, the president after that dude, 2 presidents down the road, is that when we're gonna get like the best president? Because is he like the most sensible after these last two, if that were the case?
Honestly, right there, like I said, I don't know. Because you gotta think of like Herbert Hoover, the dude who like that we named the Hoover Dam after. Nobody liked him. Like honestly, everybody hated him because he came in at the wrong time. Because he came in during the Depression, and he was trying to figure out as much as how to get us out. Nobody wanted him. As soon as he left office, it was Teddy Roosevelt who entered.
Everybody liked him.
Everybody loved him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder if that's the same thing that's gonna happen. Just because like how much how many people have such a low opinion of the current president. I wonder if the next dude isn't gonna do anything too spectacular, but just in comparison, that's gonna be like our Teddy Roosevelt or something.
Probably. Like I said, it's just a giant of who's gonna come up next.
Dude, that's like an interesting thing to think about. Like 4 years out of people's lives, you have a 50-50 chance of the politics being ran the way that you like it. And then you gotta wait another 4 years, maybe even 8 years, and so you get to see the country ran how you believe it should be ran. Like, it's such a fickle thing. Like, there's so many people that live in the United States that it's hard to appease everyone, and that's the big problem.
Well, you gotta also think, like, when they go into office, they don't know what they're doing. It's like when you, let's just say if you're going to medical school and they just automatically told you to do surgery on someone, probably the first 4 years that you're gonna be there, you're probably killed your patients. Who knows? I just adding that as like a little bit of more of a way to like to look at it, because after their first term is done, that's when you can start fixing everything in your second term. Because no way that you're ready, like whoever you are, that you're ready just to jump into as becoming president and automatically know what you're doing. Because you're no Bush. You're not going to do this.
Yeah. That is some political talk.
Yeah, dude.
I know. Just interesting thing thinking about like next year's another voting year. It's like, I'm just more curious to see like what else are they gonna throw at us, man? Who else is gonna throw gasoline on the flames, man?
Oh my god, dude.
Who's gonna make America squared?
It's gonna make America square again.
Yeah. The 1950s America.
Honestly, like
the booming economy.
The only way that like anybody would win that election, like, and truly like then finding a perfect candidate, is if we war. Because that would be one of the biggest topics for everybody to talk about, and everybody to get their opinion out. Down part of that would be still people are gonna go for the unreliable person. Because I saw a bit of the first Democratic debate that came up. That thing was just everybody was throwing each other under the bus. It was like the worst thing in the world.
As I say, man, they're all like eating each other, man. So like, who's gonna be left? And then, it's like I'm saying, like this is gonna be even more interesting than the last election if Donald Trump doesn't get a second term.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe we might get that giant wall.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty impressive to see it. This would be the next Great Wall of China.
Now, will the wall give off Wi-Fi? Like, if you guys spend how many billions, it should give off Wi-Fi. So then, like, the whole entire country gets Wi-Fi, man. I mean, not the whole entire country, but I mean, like,
Everybody on that border.
everybody from California to Texas just gets free Wi-Fi being next to there. So I mean, it kills two birds with one stone. You know, it gives you a false sense of security and free Wi-Fi, and it's all paid by the taxpayers, man.
It's like the TCA, man. That's
The TSA,
the T. Yeah,
the false sense of security.
yeah. It's just they're there to make you feel secure, but in reality, they're not doing much. Like, if somebody has a bomb, they're not gonna just like, oh, I'm gonna save my country right now. They're not gonna really stop it.
I mean, like, how much do they get paid?
I have no idea. Like,
And, like-
I heard it's really easy to become one.
Like, I wonder, like, what's their whole like requirements? Like, high school diploma. Do you need a year in security? Do you need like a couple years in customer service, or is it just like you learn on the job, and then eventually you get to the point you hate the job so much, but you have no other options, so you just become an asshole to everybody?
Pretty much, because it's a government job.
So I wonder if government jobs will ever be outsourced by robots. Or if that's possible.
The post office.
Yeah.
That would be honestly something to see.
What about like a robot that racially profiles you at the airport?
Oh God. As
Like-
soon as you walk in through those doors, it's just gonna get patted down by a couple robots.
So then I wonder who like people on Twitter would get mad at, the robots or the person that made the robots.
I don't know actually. Didn't they try doing that right now with a cop?
What?
There's like the cop robot thing that was out for like a bit.
I didn't see that.
I just only saw bits and pieces, and then I just saw a bunch of memes pop up for it. Like, I didn't really understand what was happening.
Yeah, I didn't see anything about that.
I
But
don't know.
did you hear about what's her name? Geiger. She's like a police officer who shot her neighbor. Like she went into the wrong apartment and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then shot the dude in his own apartment. And like she only got 10 years in prison, I think. That's crazy.
That's honestly, that is pretty crazy. Because for the first question of how did she get into the apartment,
Yeah.
and then second question, I think, like, wouldn't she notice
Yeah, you know, it's
this
crazy.
wasn't her stuff?
Yeah, because they said like that his has like a red doormat, so you know that's his. And supposedly his door was like slightly ajar, but like people who live there are saying like, no, the doors are gonna close by themselves. So like it's really suspicious. Like, okay, did she just break into his house to shoot him?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless, like, someone was, like, setting her up.
Maybe possibly. So do you think Apple and Disney are gonna take over the world?
Probably.
Because like Apple has like that new ATM card.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. Even my phone, like, tries to promote it to me, and I'm like, I don't know about this.
It's like I wonder how long until they open up the first bank, and then from there they start buying up property.
The Apple Bank, it goes like, I'm sorry, sir, you need an update. Come into your account. I'm like, oh.
And then like they start buying up a bunch of properties, and then they get into like don't they have their own streaming services?
I believe so, yeah.
Like eventually Apple's just gonna become the new Disney of like the entertainment industry.
I'm just waiting for
technology.
Disney to buy Apple.
Yeah.
That's like, I feel like that's one cash cow that they haven't grabbed yet.
And if that happens, I'll be wearing like Mickey Mouse stickers or something. How long until Disney buys the government? Like eventually Disney's gonna be so powerful, be like, hey, United States government, we'll buy your debt.
Well,
But,
you got to think about it. Like, in Anaheim,
Mhm.
Disney owns quite a bit of Anaheim
Mm.
just because of the park. And they will enforce laws
Mm.
if Disney sees it fit.
Mm.
So I don't know.
This is becoming the mafia. Like eventually they're gonna sink their teeth into politics, right? And then corruption and power and money. Bada bing, bada boom. They're gonna start killing off loose ends, like people who work at DreamWorks or something.
Oh my god.
I don't know. How long until Disney DreamWorks gang fights break out in Orange County?
I don't know, because doesn't Disney own DreamWorks as well?
Maybe, I don't know.
That's a good question, actually.
They own Pixar,
They own Pixar, Fox,
FX.
ABC, I believe now.
Mm.
Jeez, like what didn't they own?
Does Disney own DreamWorks? The following year, DreamWorks entered into a distribution agreement with Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, wherein Disney would distribute DreamWorks films through Touchstone Pictures. The deal continued until 2016. Currently, DreamWorks operates out of offices at Universal Studios.
So kind of nice. They have stocks in it then.
Like they use their publishing. Touchstone, I'm guessing, is owned by Disney, and DreamWorks uses Touchstone, which is owned by Disney, to move out their movies.
I don't know. That's pretty. That's a little weird.
Like there's gotta be like mafias in there. Like you think this is very much mob related. Like think about the movies like if it were drugs or something. Think about how much product they're moving, how much influence and power they have. It's like there's gotta be like on the low gangster fights going off in Hong Kong over Disney or something.
Jesus, I don't know.
Because it's such a power. Like there's no way. Like maybe even 50 years they'll come out like there was some ruthless racketeering going on or something.
I don't know. It's just, when you have enough money now, you can buy out all these things.
I think this is how we get blacklisted from the internet.
Probably.
I don't care. This show is all about taking risk and raising the bar. There is no what's the word? There is no structure. The structure is no structure.
Oh God. Oh dude.
What about a Coke and Pepsi? They own a bunch of our foods.
I feel like Coke owns Pepsi.
I think so, maybe.
I feel like they've just been secretly bought out and nobody has noticed yet. Like Pepsi Cola. A little nudge at that agreement that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Coca-Cola and PepsiCo inherit the existing depths of that's not it. It's Coca-Cola. However, unlike its rival Coca-Cola, PepsiCo has expanded outside of the beverage market. No, that's not it. Currently exists with Frito-Lay. Pepsi-Cola is owned by Frito-Lay.
The chip market has bought them out.
Yes. The same people who make the bean dip for your Tostitos bottle your Pepsi.
Oh, the little bean went inside the Pepsi. I can't get it out now.
Yeah. Dude, that reminds me, like, how much of a stoner country we are. Because, like, the other day, I was walking to Walgreens. I was purchasing some munchies. And you can now buy chocolate milk that tastes like Snickers, and you can just eat a bag of bacon. So I was just...
Okay, I think this was before the whole... like, the whole drug... Like, legalization of drugs.
Yeah.
Because I remember those as a kid.
Mm.
So...
Well, then maybe the pot was just as strong as it is now.
Probably.
I'm just saying, like, America is a great country, man. Because, like, it is our constitutional right to have internet. And you can drink a Snickers bar while eating a bag of bacon while walking down the street with minute amounts of plants in your pocket. And they won't do anything to you, man. I looked this up. It's like the laws in California, if the cop is like, it's like, I don't care about the paperwork. I'm just going to put you in cuffs because I got nothing going on.
You also still got to think about it. It's still illegal on a federal level. Yes. So if you're in a public area, public intoxication.
Yeah, you can't blow weed smoke in children's faces. It might be good for them though, but you probably shouldn't do it.
We can't market that.
Okay, we won't market that. Okay, so the possession laws. Up to an ounce, no penalty, you're good. Over an ounce, over 18, and occurred on a school ground, 10 days in prison, $500 fine. Okay, so remember that 18 years, over 18, and occurred on a school ground. You go to jail, and you get fined for $500. Under an ounce, under 18, 10 days in prison, $250 fine. More than an ounce, just at any age, 500 days, 6 months in prison. So it doesn't say anything specifically about being 18 to 21, because technically you're not allowed to smoke weed from 18 to 21 unless you have a medical card.
Mm-hmm.
There's no specific law according to this that you'll get in trouble for having any weed on you for 18 to 21. But don't do that, because I'm not a lawyer, so don't do what I say.
Yeah,
I'm just reading off a website that could be wrong.
Because it's also saying on a school ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it doesn't say and or. It says if you are over 18, have a gram or less, and it occurred on school grounds, then you can get in trouble. But if you're over 18 with weed, it doesn't seem like there's a law for that.
I think still it fall under the whole misdemeanor laws.
Because the personal use, it might, but it says more than an ounce. If you have more than an ounce, you got this $500 fine, 6 months prison. So if you're 18 through 21 with less than an ounce, there's no punishment unless this website is just not. It's just incorrect.
We live in California, so
yeah. First one I'm saying is they can't do shit to you, man. It's like having diplomatic plates.
Okay, those are two different things.
It's like having diplomatic immunity.
Still, two different things, dude. Because if you got diplomatic plates on you, you could do anything you want. You can some weed on you, you probably still get beat.
So like, why does diplomatic immunity even exist?
I have no idea.
Is it like, hey, America's the greatest country ever, go wild, the laws don't apply to you, and tell your friends back home how awesome America is?
Probably. It's just to keep trades going.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Because if you got those plates on your car, let's start drag racing.
Isn't that what happened in L.A.?
Yeah, that is actually. It happens quite often.
Mm. That's crazy. You have a free pass to be an asshole.
Pretty much.
So you can't get in trouble for anything.
I don't know about that actually. Like I feel like there'd be like some things that would like kind of push the boundaries of.
Yeah.
You'd probably never be an ambassador again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably like you probably kill somebody, you won't get arrested, but you lose your rank.
Probably.
So I remember like I was like walking to my living room and I was like catching the last end of like a CSI or something. And it's like the diplomatic dude who had diplomatic immunities shot someone in front of the police, but since he had diplomatic immunities, he was able to get away with the murder. So that's like the end of the episode. I don't even know if that's CSI or not, but I remember watching that and be like, oh yeah, that's right, that's a thing that could happen.
Yeah, it's like they could do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But I feel like there still will be backlash because trades between whatever country that was to the United States might be affected, or even just when they get back to their country, and if an American diplomat is out there, might do the same thing. Who knows? Honestly.
Yeah. Then, like another interesting thing I realized like the other week, me and my brother were talking about like the country in like world wars and whatnot, and I was thinking like America was founded in 1776, and then when did World War I start? 1914.
I think
somewhere around there. So it was not even 200 years old yet. No, not yet. So in a matter of that time, America caught up to the rest of the world's progress a little bit. But then after the World Wars, we're like, so from 1914 to the time that World War II ended, America caught up and then even far surpassed other countries in like economy, wealth, and power.
Well, you could also think about it during after World War I, we did not want to go to war again. Like we isolated ourselves from the rest of the world. Like when you looked at a map, everything was blacked out except for America. So, like, everybody kind of didn't want to encourage the war. We did fund a bit of the war, but didn't involve ourselves until Pearl Harbor. That's when kind of triggered a lot of people of like, we're going to need to go to war right now.
Oh, so I was talking to my brother about it. It's like, you want to know how gangster America, how much of a thug, how much of a straight up G America is? It had these crazy bombs that nobody knew what was gonna happen. They got kamikaze. So think about it like this: it's a mob boss. Some of his men get blown up by car bombs. Okay, but so then America is like, hey, we're gonna drop these experimental bombs on you, and we're just gonna end this shit right here. Boom, boom. After 3 days apart, and then Japan is like, okay, we surrender, and America is like, all right, yes, you will, and we're gonna help rebuild your economy.
Like it wasn't even just we're gonna help you rebuild your economy. We're gonna rewrite your economy.
Yeah, that's like such a they dismantled them and destroyed them to the point that they just surrendered, and they were like, we're gonna rebuild you guys.
We'll rebuild you guys, but you will be ours now. Well, because at the same time, Japan had experimental submarine aircraft carriers. So
how does that even work?
It's a submarine that holds aircrafts, so they could pop up closer to the United States and fly out aircrafts. Because at the time we couldn't fly planes that far. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't Hawaii like just like meant or Pearl Harbor rather, just meant for the jets to like refuel themselves.
Pretty much, and the big reason why Japan did send out a message of like, hey, this is going to happen because Japan at the time was really against surprise attacks. So Pearl Harbor could have been avoided because even the dude who was watching the radio towers, he saw little blimps coming through, and all they thought it was just a couple pigeons or seagulls. Whole thing could have been avoided. Even the planes were bolted, like clamped down to the ships. So even if they wanted to take off, nobody could get off the ground.
It's crazy. So then why was it that Japan even attacked Hawaii?
They're not going to make it to California. You got to think like, okay, so they got to get a carrier close enough to the United States without being detected, and then they have to fly. Hawaii is already in a refueling station, so you have to stop there no matter what. So there you go.
Yeah. What's crazy is that America, this like not even 200-year-old country, caught up with these 1,000-year-old countries with like power, all in the span of like the wars.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It was like with America and Germany. America told Germany not to use what's called mustard gas anymore, and Germany told us not to use what's called trench guns. So the trench gun was honestly the only thing that like kept us from being defeated within trenches, because a lot of people were using bolt action or a single action gun. The trench gun like took out multiple people. Like that was the first invention of a shotgun.
Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. Like a little country, Germany, almost took over the world, and now they want to completely forget about it.
Well, you got to think about it. Germany wasn't even Germany back then.
Well,
it was still Prussia.
Oh, okay.
Like, so you got to even think like Germany was even smaller back then.
Yeah.
To become Germany now. Yeah.
That's like crazy. Like, there's always been like fighting going on. Like, there's always been like one country that was in charge, and then the next country took charge, and then the next one after that.
Yeah, because Great Britain owned most of the world. Because their motto was the sun never sets on England.
Yeah,
I think that's what their motto is. It's been like years since I've heard it. Yeah, but it's like they said that the sun never set on them, just because of how much they've owned.
Mm.
And then America came along.
Yeah, so like I wonder like who's the next, like if America's ever gonna lose being the top spot.
I doubt it.
Cause like I feel like, I don't know. It's like no better comparison. America's like this giant mob boss who just who's made all the right connections and is just untouchable.
Pretty much.
Mm.
Because we took off. We have like enough. I don't know if this would sound correct, like, but enough, like, other parts of the world, like, I don't know how to, like, make this sound correct. Because you gotta, of, like, any province we own, it's not technically a state. So, those people don't have American rights, but we have rights to them.
Yes. Like Puerto Rico?
Like Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is one of the biggest ones.
Do I? Like I forgot, but I remember like if you're Puerto Rican, if you're from Puerto Rico, you're an American citizen.
Yeah, but you're not allowed on American soil.
Unless you are.
No.
Huh?
No, you're allowed to vote. You're allowed to vote for our president, but you're not allowed on American soil. It's like one of the biggest things I thought was dumb. But so it's kind of understandable because they would have to find out who's Puerto Rican and who's from a different part of the world from there. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like the Philippines. The Philippines is weird too. Because I think we own the Philippines too.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's like I wonder if America's the closest thing to like utopia that humankind's ever seen. Like in the sense that we have like every single race here, and for the most part we all kind of get along.
Kind of, yeah. if you were to look at it that way, yeah.
Like, I feel like with more advancements though, I feel like America could become like that hub. I don't know. It's like this weird new idea in human history where like everybody's just in one place chilling.
America is like the biggest like mixing pot of the world. Like nowadays, like it's kind of hard to tell from where someone is. Like everybody's just in America now. No matter like your skin color.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's some people who want to see like your skin color doesn't really count as American.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because like one of my coworkers was like asked me like, because like when you use your card at the store, it shows like your last name. It's like, Logan, what is that? It's like, oh yeah, it's like black or something. It's like, no, what is that? It's like Scottish or Irish, but I'm not even Scottish or Irish. It's like, no, but like aren't you like what are your parents? Oh, Americans. No, but like is your mom like Mexicans? Your dad Mexican? Like no, that's just Americans. Yeah, some white dude. Mom's Mexican or something. It's like this is just a weird conversation just to ask me like what I am when I'm telling you I'm American.
Yeah, just a lot of people don't want to count people as Americans.
Yeah.
It's like they want to. Some people get treated differently.
It was crazy. It's like the only race that you can become after you're born.
Pretty much.
What are you gonna do with this dead air?
I don't know.
We ran out of topics to speak about, even though there's no topics to begin with. What's new with technology?
I don't know. Dude, like probably something new is being invented right now, like as we talk.
It's like there's so many people on Earth that like I don't know what's going with that like there's people like just doing stuff, man. I don't know. Like it's crazy that like we were like born in the time that we were born in the places that we were born. Like this is probably like the best time in human history to be alive. Mm. Like 2000s, man. It's like crazy.
We've seen like the events of the technology pretty much hitting us.
Mm-hmm.
Like nowadays, like people are trying to figure out how to like reform the ice caps.
Mm.
Like, have you seen that?
No.
They look like these weird hexagon things.
What's it gonna do? Like super freeze it?
Pretty okay. You remember that episode from like Futurama where they brought like this giant chunk of ice and threw it in the water, and they said that they do it at least like once a year.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but it's like these little. I don't know if they're like freezers or something like that. It's freezing the water around it, and it's popping out little hexagons into like little polar ice caps. So it's one way to like refix the ice caps, but at the same time, like what's fueling it?
Yeah. Who's paying for it?
Who is paying for this?
And then like, can we sell this to the general public? Like cool down their coffee. It's like you drop a little hexagon ice cube and it just turns your coffee into ice like immediately.
I don't think it'd work like that. I don't know. Like it would be like the liquid nitrogen getting thrown into your coffee.
Nitro coffee. Dude, like, if you think about it, we're becoming like more and more like independent in the sense that like everything's like single serve, like the K cups, single served coffee. You got your phone, you can look up anything. You can like, you have a TV, you can watch like anything and everything as long as you have the internet.
Yeah.
Like things are becoming more geared. Like things are like there's less time waiting for something to be. I don't know. Like coffee is like the big thing. It's like before you have to wait like half an hour or something for it to drip it, or you can just push a button, put a little plastic thing in, and like less than a minute you got a cup of coffee. Like things are becoming more quicker.
Yeah.
Things are becoming quicker and more instantaneous.
This we're no longer living in like a slow paced world.
Like, I wonder what that's gonna do for like productivity. Like the less time we spend on mundane, routine things, will that give us more time to fuck off or more time to make more money? Like if they invented a way to brush your teeth in less than 2 minutes, and like it did just as good of a job as brushing your teeth for 2 minutes did, that'd be a pretty big invention.
That would be like you'd be able to get more stuff done. Well, you gotta also think about it though. Like, there's a lot of people in the world that don't like using a lot of modern equipment.
Yeah, those are people that are meant to die. They're meant to be forgotten in the past, man. I mean, there's some good things about old technology, but then like, you gotta keep on moving forward. Like, that's just how you get. Is evolution, and technology is constantly like it's evolving at such a fast pace that we can see it evolve month to month, day to day, year to year, and whatnot. It's not like a slow, gradual thing where it takes hundreds of thousands of years.
Pretty much. It's, the more and more we look at things, like we're pushing on farther and like more technology wise, but also like I don't know if I should say this, but like not as economical. Like we're kind of going into it, but not really looking at it, because you got to think about it. A lot of like original factories, anything, like they blew out smoke like crazy because you gotta like something has to power these things. And nowadays people are saying we're kind of going into a cleaner sources, but
yeah,
not really.
Like it's like we gotta fuck up the earth a little bit so then we don't have to like wait in line to get Taco Bell.
Pretty much, honestly.
I mean, we're heading towards Wall-E, where we're all just in these like chairs that are on conveyor belts, and we all get universal basic income, so we don't have to work at all, and things are just delivered one day. Everything's touch of a button. You scan your fingerprint, get a York peppermint patty or something.
Pretty much.
Like we're becoming Like, we're not even there. Not even all of us. It's just things are becoming more easier.
Like at the same time, like technology is making a lot of things easier, but we're getting a little bit too dependent.
Yeah. Like, what happens if the internet goes out? You can't do shit without the internet. So like, why is there not like why is there not a backup generator for the internet?
Pretty much, it's like, what was it? When was this? I want to say it was in the 90s when I think it was the early 2000s. It was when all of Los Angeles just lost power.
Oh, a brownout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many, like, that's when you could see like people are dependent on electronics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dude, it's like, how many of us can like survive in the wild, like Survivor, man, like Les Stroud, with like nothing, just you and nature, like so many people would die.
A lot of people.
like if like fallout happened, and like nuclear winter, everyone, like what if like Y2K20 happens and like the clocks can't go over into the year 2020 and then all the nukes get launched.
Who knows?
Anyways, here's another theory hypothesis I have. All right, so what if the weed plant started off in outer space in another planet, and it's like this alien life form that is intelligence, and it's like, hey, we realize that with plants we can't really do much because we don't have the apparatuses or the tools to form our thoughts and transform our environment. So somehow this alien specimen got onto Earth somehow by like an asteroid or something, and the Earth is very fertile with soil, so the marijuana crop thrived in this environment. And then over the years, I saw dinosaurs. Like, oh wow, look at that, that's crazy. That's not quite what we're looking for to get our ideas across. And then time goes on, monkeys evolve. All right, like marijuana plants, like not quite. We're gonna chill out a little bit longer. Then like gorillas, chimpanzees, then humans evolve, and we cultivate the marijuana crop. And the marijuana is like, okay, this being has consciousness that we can alter to fill out our plans and take over the world. All right, this is like 10,000 BC. Humans first, like the ancient China, taking baths with marijuana, but not really getting high off it yet. Then sometime later, people start smoking it, and eating it, ingesting it, and start getting the mind-altering effects. And it's this alien plant living out its thoughts in your, like, it's the missing link of the puzzle in the sense that like you're the electronic and the weed plant is being plugged in, and by forces you two are being powered, and you with your hands and knowledge can live out the plant's plans of world domination. So what it does is it hijacks your reward system, makes you feel really good, and it's like, so over the years it created these cannabinoids and terpenes to be like this crazy plant that has all these medical benefits, so then they can get humans to really like it. And over the years we cultivated it and always kept it, and now it's getting stronger and stronger. Think about how many ideas are fueled by marijuana. It's because it's an alien life force taking over our thoughts so it can take over the world. Because think about how abundant it is, how much it grows, and how strong it gets, how strong it's getting. It's like, what if it's like this alien intelligence just trying to take over the Earth?
I'm not gonna lie, man. You kind of lost me. Like, I was following along for just a quick bit, but I'm just like, where is he going with this?
Okay, to sum it up. Alien scientists working on this plant in a petri dish. The petri dish alien plant gained consciousness and awareness, and because of that, it realized that it needs to dominate and take over. But in a plant, since it's a plant, it can't do much. So over the years, it created THC. It's different medical benefits for humans. Since we change our environment, it's like, hey, these are the beings that we have to latch on to get our point across.
I'm kind of picking up with this, but it's just like, you're still losing me.
Okay.
It's like the whole thing with monkeys and mushrooms.
Okay. So what I was saying was like, so whenever marijuana got here, it was like waiting waiting for the right form of consciousness to inebriate, so it can live out its plans of world domination and growing all over the earth. And it saw the dinosaurs like, nah, there's no way this thing can smoke us. Then it saw the monkeys like, nah, these things are stupid. And then humans evolved. It's like, this might be the being I need to alter its consciousness so it can see my plans, and then it would enact those plans.
At the same time, I'm trying to figure out like, how did like someone figure out like we could smoke this?
That's what
like,
I'm
I
wondering
feel
too.
like they accidentally threw it in a fire and just like, whoa, man,
Mm.
I'm starting to see shapes and see colors.
Mm.
I could smell your conscience.
So yeah, like I wonder, like at that point, I mean, this is all just me making up stuff, but it makes sense in my head in the sense that like, think about how many great ideas came from smoking, and then like, what if these ideas were actually the plant's ideas, and by you inhaling its essence or its being or its blood, its oil, its body, you gain its consciousness for a couple hours. And since we're humans, we're bigger, we're heavier, that we only get to see its consciousness for a few hours. If that makes any sense, if that clarifies it.
Then would cocaine do the same thing?
Yeah, maybe, because maybe it's like, maybe in its natural habitat, it's the coca leaf, right?
Yeah.
So like, is that chemical similar to caffeine in the sense that it makes your heart race, you get more alert? Like, it's in the same category as nicotine and caffeine. Just the raw plant.
I don't know.
Cause that's like when you go to Peru or something, you chew on the plants so you get rid of motion or altitude sickness. There's also a good like alternative to coffee, so it wakes you up, but it's not like actual cocaine yet. So maybe like that plant in nature was like, all right, I'm going to get stuff done. We are going to transform this environment. I don't know.
Okay, but that also, I think we talked about this before, but not on the show. It's you remember how I told you it goes like, who tested like the first plants?
Yeah.
Like the person who like made sure these were edible plants.
Mm.
Like,
So like,
I feel like someone just like found these leaves and just
Mhm.
like chewed on them for a bit. They're like,
as I was saying,
I'm
so
ready
like,
to run a mile.
it's like maybe that's like the plant's like personality. It's born, but since it's a plant, we don't understand its like its consciousness until we ingest it. And like the side effect of cocaine or the personality of the cocaine plant is to just be like, yeah,
Super hyped up.
yeah, super hyped up. Want to take over the world, start a business. Like maybe that's how it thinks in nature. It's like, yeah, we're gonna transform this whole entire hillside, and then like when you mix it with other chemicals, it becomes more exacerbated, and you're just living the plant's consciousness.
Jeez, man. You're making me at the point not want to eat vegetables.
Oh yeah, I mean think about that too. Like maybe the vegetables transform your body to be healthier, so then you can eat more of them, so you can live out their will. I don't know. They're sacrificing you, so then they can get something in return.
Wow, man.
And that something in return is to see their offspring multiply. Think about how many bananas are made a year in the world. Like think about that. Think about how successful the banana is. Like if the banana was like a grandpa with like a billion children, be like, that was a busy grandpa. That's the most successful. Like if you looked at it just as like instincts, be like, that's the alpha male. That's the dude who got all the mates. Think about bananas. How many bananas that are grown?
Well, you also got to think of like how much of a banana mutated
Yeah.
and how much we've mutated of
Well,
banana.
that's the thing. Like the modern banana is a hybrid of like two other bananas that humans made
Yeah.
because it can't get like a fungus or something like that.
And then also the seed isn't that big.
Mm.
It's like, have you had a banana seed? Like an actual banana seed?
I don't think I've ever had ever.
Dude, it is like the weirdest thing in the world. Like imagine, like that weird part in the middle of the banana?
Oh yeah. Like maybe like
That's like a squishier seed.
yeah, like once in a blue moon.
And like when I was in med school, I ate a banana out there. Very different from what it is out here.
Mm.
because I was just looking at it. Just because that seed
Mm.
takes up more than about 90% of that banana.
Mm.
Because I don't know why. Because it's better to like probably grow them.
Mm. Because you're closer to the equator. It's like all natural.
Probably.
That's that. That's like such a weird thing. It's like humans are just good at existing. Like nature has this way of doing things, but humans are like nah. We're gonna do it like 10 times better, bro. We're gonna exploit nature to its fullest potential and make like Frankenstein food, like these crazy, like the same things like the weed, like it's just a good example. Not even, but like I was saying, like it started off naturally, this like low potency, drug, low potency leaves. Nowadays it's grown indoors in a controlled environment, and it's like a complete bastardization of what it used to be, but it's like much more. It evolved with us. It evolved with our growing needs of like that's the amazing thing about humans is like we made it. Like yeah, life is getting easier, but we made it. Like think about 100 years ago. What was happening 100 years ago? The Roaring Twenties, the end of World War One.
Yeah.
And then think about it now. We don't have to worry about getting drafted. We don't have to worry about we can look up anything we want to look up. We can have a show like this going on. Like it gives us more because of the fact that things are more easier and available to us. It gives more people a platform and a life to like do these great amazing things. Mm.
Yeah.
Because someone smarter than me learned how to clone banana seeds.
Dude, you got to think about it. Like, originally, like, okay, here's like another mutated, like, food item. It's corn.
Yeah.
Like, original corn was like this tiny little puny thing. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't even edible. It was like the size of baby corn.
Mm.
But because they like mixed it with a like tall grass, that's why we have the corn we have now.
Mm. Do you think there was ever a year that the corn was sweeter than the other?
Maybe.
Like, you think 2005 corn was sweeter than 2016 corn? Like, I wonder if there's ever any discrepancies.
It was like how
Like-
the corn is like made and like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, how consistent is it? Like, how many different phenotypes and genotypes of corn? I mean, I guess that'd be different subspecies. But then, like, even if it's like it's this type of corn.
It just came out better
Yeah.
than the corn before that year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you would have to like, I don't know, like weather patterns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like must be very different or like
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe that farmer was just in a good mood that year.
It was crazy. Like the equator. Like, how lucky is it that the Earth got struck by this asteroid, and then now it's just forever retarded and it's just tilted like this, like. and because of that, the sun is just like a magnifying glass on ants, and that's where you get all the delicious fruits, and that's like where humankind came out of. Like, think about it. Like the first humans came out of Africa, right? That's where the equator is at.
Yeah.
And then think about all these delicious tropical fruits: oranges, apples, bananas. The equator. Where is it all next to? The water. It's just crazy. This place where the sun is just magnified. Like every 0 degrees, 5 degrees, 10 degrees, it gets a little bit more, a little bit stronger, a little bit stronger. So eventually in the center. And then is it 0 at the center?
I wouldn't be able to tell you, dude.
I mean, it's that. It may be like 55, 50, and then all the way down to the center is 0. But it's crazy. All because the Earth took a pounding high school by a school bully. It was able to harbor life. So I think that's very philosophical. It's very philosophical. What I'm trying to say is like, if you're ever bullied, you're gonna create a lot of life, meaning that you're gonna get laid. So like, it all has to do with hardships, man. You go through adversity, you get a weird limp in your step, you become a pimp.
Well, okay. So talking about that,
Mm.
that. Jesus. Okay.
Mm.
So, like looking not back, but kind of looking at life.
Mm.
You remember all those people who like played sports and all that.
Mm.
and like they had really nothing else going for them.
Mm.
They still live off of like that
Yeah.
time in their life.
Yeah. It's like the thing. Is like if you plateau, well even then like you shouldn't even play. Like I think the problem with that mindset is like they don't apply themselves to other things. Like if you're constantly trying to get better at other things, like realize your situation. Like you can't always play football. Like you can't just go into a high school football. It's not called track field, football field. You can't just go if you're like 36 years old. You graduated like 20 years ago. You can't just go onto the football field. But like you gotta be realistic with yourself, but also have like high standards for yourself as well.
Yeah.
Mm. That's the way like life has always been for me. Just going with the flow, and the universe will take care of you, man. Mm.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely something out of that, or I just get baked and don't know what I'm talking about at all. But there's definitely something that's like watching out for all of us, and like when you're more in tune with it, it gives you more attention. I think about people whose lives are fucked up, you know, like they're not in tune with themselves. So I think like the more you are you and more in tune with yourself, the more the universe guides you towards success. If you're willing to take that path. I don't know, this is just hippie talk. But it makes sense. It makes sense to me.
Well, I don't know. From there, like
Maybe like frequency. Think about like a frequency. Like after you work out, you feel calm and chill, and so then you're more open to like these more friendlier, chill frequencies. Whereas if you just constantly on your feet, you hate your life, you're at a different level than someone else who's chill. So you may not receive the same frequencies as the universe maybe saying somebody who's chill.
okay, then going back to that person who works out, like you don't normally have that one that like just normally works out, just like, hey man, I'm just working out to be healthy.
Mm.
You end up with those ones that like
Overdo it.
like that are
Pretty big. It's
pretty big.
body dysmorphia type
Yeah.
deal.
Like their problem now is that they can't fit through a doorway,
Yeah.
or that they still fit through a doorway.
Yeah, you can definitely overdo things, but like, I mean, it's like one of those things. Like, weed is another perfect example, but like you can't OD on weed, but you can OD in the sense that you just smoke and you're useless. And the same thing with working out. Like working out is great for you. Like you need to do it for your body to live. But like if you overdo it, then you're gonna start messing up other parts of your body, like your joints and whatnot. So like there's like a saying, there's no such thing as a free biological lunch, and that means nothing is good for you. It's all about moderation. Honestly, like, it all has to do with like how you look at yourself. Like I think if you're honest with yourself, I don't think any of that stuff. Cause then if you're honest with yourself, you can address these problems. Be like, okay, what is this? How do I fix this? But yeah, I mean, definitely it's something to think about, that people do overdo things. Where does that come from?
I don't know. This mentality probably,
Mm.
because a lot of people
Was that like
Well,
I don't know.
want to go up and beyond of what they're already doing.
Mm.
Because you got to think of like, okay, look at it this way. Back then, they believed that the human body cannot run a mile within 4 minutes,
Mm.
and now because one person broke that record, everybody thinks that they could do it.
Mm.
Like high school kids nowadays could do it.
Mm.
And looking at it that way, like there must have been that one person who originally started overdoing it, and people saw him as something a little higher up.
Mm.
So they wanted to follow what that person was doing.
Mm. Yeah, dude, that's like life. That's like evolution, dude. You think about it, from a philosophical note, it's like, man, I gotta leave my mark on this earth. I gotta show everyone I'm the top dog, because like, but also because you have like a goal to attain. If like someone can run a mile in 6 minutes, okay, well that's only 6 minutes. Okay, I can beat that. Give me 5 minutes, and then constantly the bar gets raised and raised. It's like this. Unless you do something completely impossible, that nobody can catch up to. Like, I don't know, run a mile in like 30 seconds. Let's just say hypothetically. Then at that point, that person becomes historical, man. I don't know, but like we're always trying to up ourselves.
I agree.
Be better.
It's just that mentality. We want to one up
Yeah.
each other.
Mm-hmm. It's not a bad mentality to have, but it could definitely be like, could be toxic in a way.
Okay.
This is one of these you can't take yourself seriously. I feel like, but like, it's such a catch-22 because like you gotta believe in yourself, and if you can do it, you can do it. But also like, don't take yourself too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
So what do you think about gas prices, man?
Jesus, too. Oh, okay. So, you know how everybody up here says gas prices were high?
Mm.
We're probably the lowest place in San Bernardino
Mm.
because I was down the hill the other day,
Mm.
and it was like everywhere I went was like there was no gas prices lower than $4.11,
Mm.
and we're barely hitting $4 up here.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's the new gas tax. Oh yeah, it's like the other day I got some Burger King, and like the whole plastic straw ban is finally caught up, cause like I got a different straw than normal, and it's like one of these like cardboard straws.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, it's not as bad as I thought. I mean, I thought it was gonna be like they wouldn't offer you any straws at all, and then, but actually the straws aren't that bad.
Okay,
And
so
then-
the whole paper straw thing,
Is that the biodegradable?
they're biodegradable, but you know how a lot of people enjoy their drinks
Yeah,
and let that straw sit for a bit?
yeah. Well, yes, that's the other
That
thing.
straw becomes part of your drink.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was thinking is like, is this thing ever gonna like get mushy because it's paper? But like it didn't. That's pretty cool. But it definitely, I don't know, I'm not no taste connoisseur, but I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna be finicky and picky. Be like, oh, I don't like this. This changes the taste of my Dr. P.
Probably. And that one person's drinking their, not even, like, Diet Coke. They're like, oh, it doesn't taste the same.
That's the same person who gets irritated at like a stoplight. I don't know.
That's like the person who buys like 100 nuggets and eats them by themselves and still orders a Diet Coke.
Like the
Because they're
Diet
on
Coke makes me healthy.
The Diet Coke is because I'm on your diet?
I don't know. You're honestly better off drinking regular Coke, man. Diet Coke.
You are.
Diet Coke could give you cancer. Regular Coke just makes you fat.
I think they both give you cancer.
Okay. One is beloved and cherished by Americans, and one is a diet fad.
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe if it's like the real sugar kind. If you're comparing real sugar Coke to Diet Coke, then real sugar Coke just makes you fat, and Diet Coke gives you cancer.
Probably. Most likely.
Mm.
It's just that whole thing of people overdo it again.
Yeah, with dieting.
Not even with dieting. They just in general they overdo it.
Mm.
Like I've seen people scarf down like 100 nuggets by themselves. I'm like, it's kind of terrifying.
Dude, that's what's crazy. It's like you can do that here, man.
You can.
The amount of freedom we have. Like America is like live in excess.
Because
What is-
I saw that they're trying to bring back the bucket of nuggets.
Dude, they're slowly bringing back supersize. Remember the Grand back?
Oh my
It's like
gosh.
twice as. Oh, on the McRib. I saw a commercial for the McRib. It's not even December yet.
The McRib randomly comes out through the year.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was only in December and January.
No.
Oh, dude. Because, like, I remember. Was it?
No, it's just that they
Oh.
randomly bring it out.
Oh. Dude, 'cause I remember the first time I had a Big Mac. It was like 2014 Christmas. I was in Arizona. I remember. It's life changing.
Dude.
Actually, no. What year would that have been? Probably 2014. It feels like it's been longer. It's back when I had hair.
Oh, jeez. That was years ago.
So, yeah, no, this had to have been like 2012. No, 2013. Somewhere between 2012, 2013, 2014. Pretty sure 2012, 2013 anyways. I don't care about the dates. It's in Arizona. Christmas time. Grandmother's house. McDonald's up the street. I was like, I think we're going to try a McRib. That sounds pretty good. And my God, was that delicious. I was hooked ever since then. every year I go back around the holidays to get myself a McRib at least once.
I don't know.
But it would kill you. Whatever's inside of it is not meant for human consumption.
No, it is not.
Ribs are not supposed to look like that.
I don't think it's even ribs. Like
What it is real ribs, but they ground it up like ground beef,
and
like a
then-
hamburger, and then they press it into like a fake rib. So it's real rib meat that's been shredded up and pressed into a fake rib.
They're just
shape.
They're just making that process easier for you not to have the bone in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's genius, but it's like such a bastardization of the rib. It's like, am I a joke to you?
Am I a joke? Continue eating me for the next 4 days. Like, don't they usually have the sale of like buy one get one?
Yeah,
For like the McRib, like they market that thing like
they're just
crazy.
handing out the poison. Dude, McDonald's treats you like a pig, dude. They give you food in a tray, in a little trough, a little cardboard trough. Like, here, eat up. Like, they know it's not good for you because they're cooking with it. And like, here's a little pig trough. There you go.
Well, if you're thinking of it that way, I think like every fast food restaurant hands it to you like
Yeah,
that.
and I'm saying, here you go, you disgusting pig. Just eat out a trough.
Just eat this. Just don't even look at me.
It's like such an interesting American creation, man. Fast food that's like cheap, tastes delicious for some reason. It's quick.
Well, you got to think where like the first fast food came from.
Yeah.
It was a vending machine,
Yeah.
and like I think people are astonished that it became an actual restaurant. Like, what is this thing? Because a lot of people have like that decision of like have a microwave dinner or have fast food. That's
Speaking of which, I do have some frozen pizzas I can bake. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Taco Bell, stop messing with the $5 box menus, man. Like, the fries were delicious. Why are you guys getting rid of them?
I think they just like pull out different
Yeah.
things just so they could kind of get an idea of what they could market better.
Yeah. Everyone knows.
Because-
Yeah.
I feel like the fries are like the McRib.
Yeah.
Like they randomly come out.
But also, like, the boxes are like on the menu for 2 weeks and then they replace it with a new box.
Yeah. Well, like
It's a good marketing strategy.
That is like the best marketing strategy. Like, like you go into a restaurant, like, oh, there's a new box. Let's go get it. A lot of places like, oh, I've already had that. Don't want to try that out.
Yeah.
Don't they have anything new on the menu? Like Taco Bell constantly changes it. Like they're mixing it up a little bit more.
Do I like it? This is a good business model to follow. Cause like, when we start getting an audience, man, we gotta drop some like rare, before seen T-shirts, and it'll be super cool or something. And then we're just not gonna sell them, and then we're gonna bring them back randomly. People are like, what? And then we're gonna double the profits. Feel like, oh wait, no way, it's back, and we're just gonna sell twice as many, and then take it off the shelves, and then create another cool shirt and do the same thing over again.
I'm not sure on how that works. Okay, with clothing, it's a little bit different because limited edition clothing,
You can inflate the market artificially.
you can, but it's like it's hard because you have to hit a certain market.
Yeah, well, that's the first thing we had to build an audience, and we gotta look cool.
Pretty much.
But I think as long as we have like the audience, I don't think it really. Pretty much, you create your own coolness.
Pretty much. It's like if as soon as we start getting more of an audience, we could start doing a bit more on this channel.
So, people, send this out there. I don't want to be one of those guys. I don't care what you guys do, but yes, T-shirts are planned in the future. Apple is listening to us. They're trying to steal our idea.
It is. They're trying to figure out what we're doing right now.
Yeah, dude, Siri just went off randomly.
It did.
Apple is listening in on this podcast illegally. They're not paying to watch it. Even though you don't have to pay to watch it on internet.
Yeah. So technically, but they're hearing it before
Everyone else.
everyone else. So I don't know how.
Yeah, they're not third guest. The national security is listening in on us, trying to catch us tell another TSA joke. That's where the money's going, man. It's a joke. Come on now.
It's only a joke. Like we had to use someone as reference.
Mm. Airports have changed.
They have changed. Every time I've gone to an airport, I get patted down.
Yeah, me too.
And that's like the saddest thing in the world because I'm always in a group of white people.
Yeah. Like, well, also because I never had my ID. That's probably why.
No, like I always have like everything on me, and like they look at me, they're like, "Hey,
Mm. Dude, like every
we
time,
need
every time I bring, I always bring just one specific backpack because I like the backpack and it fits a lot of stuff. Every time I go to the airport, they're like, "Oh nope, this backpack is failed such and such test. We're gonna have to do extra scrubbing," and then it comes back clean. Every time I use that backpack, I don't know. Maybe my hypothesis is that maybe I had my toothbrush in there and some residue of toothpaste got on the bag, so maybe whatever's in toothpaste is also used for bomb making or something. That is my most reasonable hypothesis, unless they just really do not like the team that's on that backpack. Maybe that's the other thing I didn't think about. Is it's a team-oriented backpack,
I don't know."
but it's bullshit that they always do that to that backpack.
Like the last time I went to an airport was like the most awkward thing in the world. Like leaving the United States airport was like they questioned me so much.
Mm.
And then when I was like in Peru, they just looked at me though, like, why are you with a big group of white people?
Mm.
Like they checked them. Like it's just more discrimination about skin color.
Yeah.
Like because when I came back, it was like I was at the airport for like 2 hours because they did not want to let me come in through customs.
Yeah.
Like they had to go through extra questioning. Like, so are you coming here illegally? I'm like, no. You have my passport and my ID in your hand. You're looking at it.
Dude, it's like one of those dudes who takes like a minimum wage job too seriously. Like there's one guy I work with who's kind of like that. He takes a job. He's like an older dude. It's probably gonna be his last job. He's like that old, so he like has to work, but he can't retire yet. And he takes the job way too seriously.
There's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Like, they take like something a little too seriously.
Honestly, if you got a bad job, just don't even think about it. Just do the job, man. Have something else going on outside of your. Don't make your life just the job. Otherwise, that's like super boring, and like I don't know where I'm going with this. Pretty much do something else with your life besides a regular job. Have other extracurricular activities to keep your brain in check.
It's like the people who come out and grab the shopping carts.
Yes.
And they act like they're the crossing guard. I'm like,
yes,
you gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to take forever on like bringing them carts in. And then especially they get mad when I steal the carts from them.
Dude, I'm like the opposite. I'm just like, all right, I'll let you guys go for it. Like I just don't want to be there. So I'll just whatever you guys want to do. If you guys want to take a car, take a car. If you guys want to keep on going, keep on going. Now sometimes I'll let the customers walk out first. Sometimes I'll just be sitting there for like 5 minutes. Just people constantly coming in and out.
Yeah. I don't know.
Pretty much don't take your job seriously.
Like if you take it seriously, take it seriously to a certain point.
Yeah.
Like
What are they doing for you guys?
like put effort into your job, but don't
enforce the rules when you're not a police officer.
pretty much. Like at my job, like our motto is like, why should I don't get paid by the bag or I don't get paid by the ski. I get paid hourly, so I could take my time and don't have to injure myself doing this.
Yeah.
Like if you're like working in like anything, like a shipping yard or anything like that, you gotta, if you know what benefits you're getting and what benefits you're not getting, don't overdo it.
Yeah.
If you're in a McDonald's employee trying to carry 3 stacks of fries, 3 stacks of like those boxes of fries, they're not paying you enough.
Unless your name rhymes with grave without the V. Unless your name rhymes with gray. I'm just kidding. How do we wrap this up? It's already been an hour and 15 minutes.
Well, let's leave off with a question. Do you
Alright.
think your phone's listening on you?
All the time, dude. Like all the time.
And like, leave us a comment.